I'm Ryan McCaffrey here at the Game Awards 2025. I am not ready for the show yet, as you can see, but my guests very much are. We have Johanna Faries, the president of Blizzard, and Diablo 4's game director, Brent Gibson. Thanks both for taking the time here before you go both walk the red carpet. It is a busy day. Brent, you've got the mic, so I'll start with you real quick. Lord of Hatred, that's the big announcement here.
Yes.
What are your kind of overarching goals? Like, give me the elevator pitch. You know, the core game's great. What are the overarching goals with this second expansion?
Yeah, one of the biggest things here is that we're building up to the reckoning of Mephisto. Like, the primeval himself having such a huge impact on the franchise, and everything that we've been building up for Lord of Hatred is actually is coming to a reckoning in this expansion. Also, we're introducing new classes. The game is all about classes, but even more importantly, we're putting a lot of focus on the end game.
It's celebrating a big anniversary next year, number 30.
Yes.
So, you know, Diablo 4 continues to be huge. How do you keep from sort of a top level in terms of supporting the teams? How do you keep Diablo fresh, new, exciting, not just for players, but for your own team? Like, how do you continue to support Diablo to make it as important as it clearly is at Blizzard?
Well, I think it starts with world-class talent. I mean, we've got the best talent in the biz around the franchise. And I would say fans of Diablo should tune in, not just to tonight, but for months to come. I think we're going to have a heck of a run here for all things Diablo over the next couple of turns. So it's exciting to say the least. I would say that tonight, sort of back to Brent's call out, is all about Mephisto and a lot of other things that I think fans have been waiting for. It's very much a love letter to Diablo fans in X2. But as a franchise, I think the whole team has been cooking. So more to come over the next several months.
Love it. I kind of want to pivot to more of your higher level role. I mean, it's just under 2 years. You're coming up on 2 years heading up the company. And what a lot of people might not know, what I learned about you in preparing for this interview is you were at the NFL prior to coming to, over to Activision and Call of Duty and now Blizzard. But did you, anything that you learned from working in real life sports and sort of the competition, the competitive nature there translate to, I mean, maybe not so much with Diablo, but you know, there's esports is a big thing at Blizzard. And are there any sort of parallels that help you from the NFL when you're coming into the video game business?
Certainly. I would say it's really about fandom. I talk about this a lot, right? This sort of sense of community, passion, this multi-generational sense of fandom as well. Blizzard's 35 years and counting. And in many ways, that dovetails to how maybe the NFL might think about fandom. Thinking about entertainment with a capital E, thinking about community management day in, day out, but really, really thinking about the gravitational pull that IP can have and how big of a role it can play in people's lives on a very personal level, right? It's not just about this binary experience with content, but really forging bonds that are lifelong. In many ways, that's what BlizzCon next year is going to be all about, is getting back together as a crew, right? A global fan base for all things Blizzard. So I think those are the things that I would say are the most similar.
You have the privilege of being able to shape Diablo 4 kind of on the fly as a ongoing game that's supported over every week, every month. But from a sort of higher level creative vision perspective, how has player feedback shaped what you guys are cooking up with Lord of Hatred?
Yeah, it's actually everything. You know, with the first expansion, we were on a road of developing it before we could even engage with our fans. With Lord of Hatred, it's been fully developed with full engagement with the fans. So they really are the ones that are telling us where the game needs to go, understanding what kind of classes we need to introduce, where the passion around the story is, where the end game should actually be. It's very fan-driven.
How do you personally take in this 30th anniversary that you're heading into next year? Like, do you go back and play the first game to sort of see where it came from? Like, are there any lessons you can take from the first game as you're kind of, you know, in the grind of it day to day moving forward? Do you bring in anybody from the original development team to come share some war stories? Like, just how do you personally kind of engage with the 30th anniversary of Diablo?
I mean, it's complete immersion at this point. You know, it's First off, it's an honor. There's huge shoes to fill. There's been so many great developers who have been on this journey the entire way. I got introduced to it at the launch of Diablo II Resurrected. That was the first Blizzard title that I had worked on. And the passion around such an iconic franchise, you had to learn how to really respect the entire journey. And so as far as I personally am concerned, it's going back. It's reading the books. It's playing the games.
Yeah.
It's spending time with the fans. When we're at events like this, sitting down with someone and really listening to their story, their personal story of when they first played Diablo, all of those things are major components to how we put it all together and how we get to a point with the 30th anniversary where we can, like you had said before, it's a love letter to the fans at this point. It's all about the fans.
Yeah, I mean, I personally go all the way back to the beta for the original game. That will be on Diablo to start with. Yeah. And so I've been along for the whole ride.
Yeah, it's incredible. Everybody I meet has their story, so that's great.
In your role now, a couple of years into the job of running Blizzard, how do you value new IP versus trying to just make sure you're taking care of Diablo and the things you already have?
Yeah, I think it's really thinking about time horizon, right? When we set out, let's say 2 years ago, we said in the next 5 years, what are the building blocks to success? And more often than not, it's going to be about focusing in on our iconic IP. We have, I think, the greatest portfolio of IP in the world. It stands up against any entertainment company. And yet we still feel like there's more to reach for within Diablo or WoW or Overwatch or what have you. So let's really home in there first. It doesn't mean that it excludes new opportunities downstream, but we have so much opportunity right in front of us with our existing franchises and games. And I truly believe that in many ways, the best is yet to come, even in this short, next run for our fans. If you're a fan of any of those games, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised about what Blizzard's cooking up. And then we'll see what that gives us into the future.
35th anniversary of the company is happening as well. So what should Blizzard be doing in 5 years from now for its 40th anniversary that it's not already doing? Like, what are you hoping? Because you can't, there are some changes I'm sure you can enact overnight and policies you could change or what have you. But it also, if you really want to create really put your stamp on things and you've got a vision for the next 5-10 years of the company. So creatively speaking, what do you want the company to look like in 5 years at the 40th anniversary?
Yes, we've talked about this. And our ambition is to become the greatest gaming and entertainment company in the world. And it's a big statement, but we think we actually have all the cards to play to do it. We have the best talent in the industry. And I think it's about being bold. We've got to take some risks. We've got to show up in places people may not expect. Again, I think if we're porting ourselves into the future 5 years from now, hopefully we feel like we've earned that ambition, that people are sort of reflecting that back. There are players all over the world feeling that and thriving within our games and our universes. And like I said before, gaming and entertainment by design, not just games, but where does our IP show up in broader entertainment? What are those experiences? We have a lot of really strong conversations going on right now about that. I have full confidence that in this time horizon, fans will see that.
So Diablo has kind of famously taken a pretty long time between mainline iterations over the years. Again, I speak as somebody that's been in it for all 30 years of it, which makes me feel old now that I think about it. But four mainline games, 30 years. But with Diablo now being an ongoing supported service-based game, how do you balance the continued evolution and maintenance of Diablo IV with allowing your team space to eventually create an all-new game, a Diablo 5 or whatever it would be called?
We're fans first on the team, right? And with a game that is live in a more modern gaming universe where we're hyper engaged with our communities, it's the fandom that determines where we go next. Now, we have ambitions, and those ambitions extend way out into the future. But we really take it release by release to take the opportunity to pause for a minute, hear where people want to go with it, and then make sure that our plans are adjusted according to that. And so I'm really excited to be at the moment where we're going to release Lord of Hatred. It's a massive expansion. We're going to get a ton of feedback on it, and that's really going to help us determine what comes next.
I saved the most serious question for last, and maybe we'll start with the boss on this one, and then we can come back, but this does apply to both of you. If you're both around at Blizzard for the eventual, probably inevitable Diablo 6, can we call it Diablo 666? Is that, like, can we just guarantee
or
that right
7?
now? Oh, no, it's too late. No, what have you done?
I know, my kids would disappear. No comment. But like I said before, best is yet to come. I will say, and I know Brent and I talk about this a lot, even on the Diablo team side, there's a lot of confidence that if you're a Diablo fan, like the next era for Diablo is one for the books. The team has very bold plans. So, it's got to fire on a lot of different cylinders in order for us to realize that. Tonight is sort of the kickoff to many magical moments, even in the next several months for Diablo fans. But we're taking a long lens, like you said. I'd love to hear your thoughts, but I feel totally confident in what's coming.
The people on the team, this is not a game. It's not another thing on the resume. It's a lifestyle. Like, we really love being in this universe and this IP. We've got our stories as kids playing the game, and now we're making the game that we used to love as just fans, and now we're developers. And so if we're allowed to continue to go and the fans are there and they want more game, I can't wait to continue to make games as long as they continue to love it.
Well, that's it. We are now heading off to the Game Awards, which will have already happened by the time anybody sees this. By the way, we know the top comment's going to be about our matching Jordans, so just go back to talking about Blizzard stuff. We know. That's fun, though, that we both chose the same sneaker.
It wasn't planned, but
yeah, we do what we can. It's IGN colors, but also Blizzard colors, so it works out. For more on all things Diablo IV Lord of Hatred, we'll have more on that in the coming year on IGN, and more on everything that Blizzard's cooking up for the 35th anniversary of the company, 30th anniversary of Diablo. So for all that and more, keep it tuned right here to IGN.